So we get asked a lot, why are the foundational items in our model, why do we consider them foundational? And the answer is that to build a strong business strategy and growth and results in your organization, it's not just enough to have a clear vision and plan in the organization. That is a super important aspect of it. But if we do not have the leaders, right, the conscious leadership that can really drive the change that's required, if we don't have good communication techniques and we don't have really great trust in the organization, no amount of strategic planning, right, and no amount of visioning is going to propel the business forward. So when we look at that foundation, it's very different, right, in how those aspects work together, because we see it as a balance between the business needs, things like innovation and healthy growth and being agile and adjusting to the market, and human needs, which are things like feeling a sense of belonging and using your strengths at work. All of that is what's foundational to creating true impact in your organization. We also see that there's different indicators that maybe those foundational items aren't as strong, or maybe we're really strong in one, but we're not necessarily as strong in the other. And both are situations that we need to address. So what we see a lot, for example, is we see teams that come in and say, we've got a really good business and we have really good people, but we don't all seem to be rowing in the same direction. Everybody's showing up every day doing the best they can, but I don't think we all have a shared vision and a shared purpose for the organization. And that's an aspect where you can be strong and maybe your communication is great and you have really strong core values in your organization. But if you don't have that North Star that people can work towards, if you don't have a way to build trust with the organization through being really transparent about where we're going, then your foundation isn't as strong as it could be. We also see a lot where the vision is shared at the top of an organization, but it's not necessarily disseminated and shared and really understood throughout the organization. Leaders have a really tough time figuring out how to take their big strategy ideas and where the business is going and articulate that and create clarity of the vision down throughout the organization. And so when they're not able to do that, we tend to look at their foundation as being a bit weaker. And we just got to shore up, whether it's communication or it's another aspect of that foundation that's really going to amplify the areas that they are strong and the clarity that they do have. Also, when you're strong in one area of the foundation, but weaker in others, what we tend to see is it masks the real issue, right? So we have organizations, for example, that have really strong values, but they haven't used them in how they actually achieve their vision. They just have them as part of maybe the hiring process and even a performance review process, but they're not giving examples of saying, we can't achieve our vision unless this value is part of how we think, act, and interact every single day. So they get some lift from the values. We love when they have something around values, but if they don't have the other pieces that surround the values and really make the values come to life, then the values aren't as strong as they could be. Or we've had, for example, clients that have started with really strong purposes and visions for the organization and the work that they're doing, but the leadership was weak and the trust became so much lower because of that. And so their team was coming in every day really focused on the purpose, but what they were missing is their ability to perform at a high level because the trust was so bad. So where you see that one can be strong and the other can be weak, what we want to do is bring all of them up, right? So they really amplify and accentuate each other. And that's how you really get the biggest bang for your buck, right? In focusing on having a strong foundation that can really drive the business.